Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is Thursday. The draft is 2 weeks away. I'm ready to perish into the earth with the thought of 14 more motherfucking days having to talk about who might go where and what's the draft, what positions are they going to draft, who could. Oh my God, the NFL, you kill me. You kill me. But you know what doesn't kill me is everybody in the chat already mixing it up. Good morning, everybody, especially Big B is here. What's up, Big B? Joey is here, of course. Underage Packers in the house this morning. Jeff Ness starts us off with a super chat. Thanks, Jeff. I see Brett may be in a little trouble. Damn, Vikings. I mean, whenever Brett does something bad, he is clearly a Vikings legend, no doubt. But when he does something nice, heartwarming, great, whatever, then he's the, three-time MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. We all know this. These are the rules, obviously. What's up? Morning, Dennis. Good to see you. Oz is here. Wow, Oz. It's like an embarrassment of riches. I saw you last night on the happy hour. Now you're here this morning, eschewing your coffee run for a little Packers daily in your life. I appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Big Nags, how's it going? Shadid, let me tell you, it's going well. The sun is shining. It's going to be 80 degrees in New York City today. I am definitely planning to get outside at some point this afternoon. It's going all right. It's going okay, despite having to wait 14 more motherfucking days for the NFL draft. It's doing okay. I'm gonna hang in there. It's gonna be all right. If the rumors are true, is bringing Sammy Watkins in a good move? Yeah, Eric, I saw a little scuttlebutt last night, and I know there was a little bit this morning. I have no idea what's been reported or if anything's been reported outside of like internet rumors. I will say, the only thing I will say about Sammy Watkins is do not forget, Brian tried to sign him the year he became a free agent and ended up eventually signing with Kansas City. So there's definitely been interest in the past. So it's certainly a receiver that they have been at least tracking previously. You have to think there's a possibility. I have no idea what's reported or out there or whatever. At least I've seen that. I haven't seen anything credible about it, but that would not surprise me as a signing in any way, shape, or form. Simply because, like I said, they have had interest in the past. Soder, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. I feel what you were saying. This feels like the longest offseason ever. Please make it stop. Well, we've got a lot more intrigue now because of the Devontae trade. So the Packers have more ammo. So obviously there are lots more possibilities. It won't be the regular, wait 3 hours and then they make a pick. Remember last year when Eric Stokes got picked? No, you don't, because everybody was talking about Aaron Rodgers. It's crazy to me how under the radar Stokes not only went basically after getting selected, like that entire weekend, no one talked about Eric Stokes, but now he's coming off a really, really good rookie season, and we're kind of not talking about him again. Obviously, we're very excited to get Jair back, and hopefully he gets extended. And you've got Rasul Douglas re-signed, on a contract extension, and everybody keeps going, oh, and they've got Stokes. But it's like, so far, it's still early in his career, but that's a really good pick so far. And he's a really good player on the up and up, a young, ascending player who is almost an afterthought. It's kind of crazy to me, especially considering how well he played last year. And I know Vikings trolls will point to the game that he had against Jefferson in Minnesota, and there's no doubt he took his lumps there. But outside of that game, he had a really damn promising good season. And I even some of the concepts the Packers ran more than they took advantage of Stokes in particular. But man, you talk about a kid who first round pick, completely flying under the radar in some circles, namely the internet. Man, Stokes is so good. It's crazy to me. TKM, thanks for the super chat. $6 to avoid draft talk just for a minute. Going to be in the 70s here in North Carolina today. So getting our fave lunch spot near you in New York City, puppy money. Thanks, TKM. Lunch spot. It would definitely be in Astoria. When I was at Bleacher Report downtown, we used to go to Lily's, which is still there on 17th Street, that I liked a lot. And they opened one here in Midtown. It's like, it looks the exact same, which is kind of weird, but it's nowhere near as good. But Lily's on 17th is a great spot to get some lunch or after dinner drinks as well. But in Astoria, man, there's so many. I could go on and on. Jack Jones I was like Jack Jones last night with my buddy Mark. They've got great food and they've got great outdoor seating. Another spot I love to go to. They're a little bit more expensive for what they offer, but the beer garden, the Bohemian Beer Garden in Astoria, man, you can't beat it. Some of their sausages they have German, like legit German sausage. Shit is good, man. So those are just a couple spots that I like a lot. What else we got? David, thanks for the super chat, bud. Nags, what do you make of the Sammy Watkins rumors? His wiki page seems to think it's real. Don't pay attention to wiki pages. I mean, like I just said a little bit ago, 100% would buy that they would be in on Watkins. They have been in on him before. They made him an offer, if I remember right, when he was a free agent prior to signing with Kansas City a number of years ago. So we definitely know there's been interest in the past. Have to think the Packers would be at least making that phone call. There's no doubt about it. So would not surprise me at all. And look, as I talked with Ross Uglum on here on the YouTube channel a couple of days ago, it's very rare that Brian goes into a draft having boxed himself in for need at a position. And obviously they're going to have to draft a wide receiver regardless, but the idea of going into the draft with the current depth chart at wide receiver is a little I'm not gonna say crazy, but it's very un-Brian like. So a Watkins signing would make a ton of sense in the sense of, okay, you've got somebody who can play outside on the perimeter, kind of take that role over, and then you're gonna draft one most likely, but you don't have to. You're not driven by the absolute need to. There's no way you can come out of say day one or two without a wide receiver. You can still let the board kind of fall to you in a sense. Teams will think twice about throwing against the Packers' corners. They most certainly should. There's no doubt about that. Attorney, what's up, man? This is our best cornerback group since Woodson, Harris, and crew. It has the potential to be. There's no doubt about it. Now, I mean, Stokes has got to continue to develop. Razul has to show he's not a flash in the pan. Jair has to come back fully from that shoulder injury. I mean, there's a lot that has to fall in place here, but zero doubt that the potential for it to be a damn airtight shutdown type group, it is there. There is no question. Nate, thanks for watching on Facebook, buddy. Nags, with the free agent signing of Reed and the development of Slayton, how do you feel about the D line? I feel good, not great. I think Slayton, he's another guy who, he didn't play a ton. He didn't get a ton of opportunities, but I thought he played well, especially as the year went on. Love to see him get him on the field more, a little bit more on early downs, obviously. I don't think he's ever going to be a premier pass rush specialist or anything of that nature, but I do think there's a lot of promise there. And I do think Reed, I know, like, if you look at kind of early on in Kansas City, his time in KC, it's a little up and down. There's no doubt about it. But man, he rounded into shape very nicely, and he played some really nice ball in the playoffs. I saw an article from PFF that was talking about how if you watch his playoff kind of output, you'll see the kind of potential that I think Kansas City saw when they signed him in free agency. Damn, if is that I went back and watched his playoff performance, it's impressive. So I think if you can get that in the mix along with Slayton continuing to develop, hopefully Dean Lowry kind of continues on the path we saw from last year, because damn if that wasn't his finest year as a Packer. And of course you've got Kenny. You've got some pieces there. I still think if there's somebody there that makes sense, maybe a Reed 22, is he going to be there? I doubt it. But if there's somebody that you think, you have a first round grade on that falls to 22, I would not be surprised to see the Packers go D-line early in this draft. Reed is a 1-year signing. That is not a long-term investment. And now, obviously, maybe he plays himself into an extension, but you want to get, as much talent, much flexibility up front as you possibly can. Obviously, the best place to do that is in the draft. And I think if the value is right, draft board wise, I would not be surprised to see the Packers go that route, and I hope they do. David, thank you for the super chat. Nags, what do you make of the Sammy Watkins rumors? Oh, I already got that one. Sorry. Got that one. Big B with the Dean Lowry shout out. There you go. I like it. I know we need a wide receiver, but I'd love to see us draft some big fat guys on both sides of the ball, win it in the trenches. Jeff, I do not disagree, sir. I think you can get both, especially with the draft capital that the Packers have. I mean, damn, I can't remember the last time they had this many picks in the first 2 days. So I think there's a good chance we see a bit of both. Um, I think offensive tackle is kind of the one thing that nobody really wants to talk about because it's not sexy and it's not fun. But I got to think offensive tackle is definitely, even with their penchant and their ability to find guys on day 3 along the line, I think there's a decent chance offensive tackle will be in the mix, so to speak. John, thanks for the super chat. Morning, Eggs. Power of positive thinking. Goody will make the right moves in the draft and free agency. The wide receiver depth will be perfectly fine come week 1. Go, Pack, go. I like it. If you will it, it is no dream, dude. I am in on that, John. I love it. I missed it. What's going on with Sammy Watkins? Jake, nothing. A lot of internet rumors that the Packers are going to sign Sammy Watkins, but that's all it is right now. Internet rumors. Now, that doesn't mean they're not true. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen, but right now there's been no credible reporting around it that I've seen. Now, maybe it's something's out there that I've missed, but at this point, that's all it is. Hey, Nags, can they please sign Hicks? Would he cost much? Brent, obviously, I would have to defer to his representation as to what he would cost. I love the player. He can't stay on the field at this point in his career. If he were amiable to taking a 1-year dirt cheap veteran minimum deal, I sign me up. Sign the Packers, I think would be signed up. But I would suspect he is going to wait and see what shakes out after the draft, who is still in need after the draft to sign somebody. Maybe even he waits till into the summer and sees if there's an injury or two along defensive lines across the league, and then signs with somebody there. I would suspect he'd probably want to go to a contender. Packers check that box. I would love it. Because I love him so much as a player. I'd be surprised if Brian went that route. If Brian was going to make that call, I would suspect he probably wouldn't have signed Reed. So stinks because I would love to see him in green gold, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I've been surprised before. We shall see. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go, people. What do we got here? Okay, got that one. Marshall, thank you for the super chat. GM Nags, these are always great. Who was your favorite pass rusher of the 3? Bryce Paup, Aaron Campman, or KGB? Whew. It's got to be Paup. I always hated that he went to Buffalo and became like, it's kind of like the Micah Hyde of the previous generation, right? I loved him as a Packer, and I loved him as a pass rusher. And that's not to take anything away from what Campman and KGB did on the field. The Bryce Paup, man, he was so exciting to watch. And it was funny because, like, when I was growing up, the defense was always an issue, and they had some players, but they never really kind of put it together on that side of the ball. But Paup came along and was like a terror. And he was just so fun to watch when he would pump the crowd up after a sack. And so he's always going to have a soft spot in my heart. No doubt about it. Preston, thank you for the super chat. Jordan Davis and Kenny Clark together. My goodness. This is what I am saying. Let's go. Let's go. Now we're cooking with gas, Preston. I like it. I like it a lot. Can Elton Jenkins play right tackle? Michael, currently, no, because he's coming back from injury. In the grand scheme of life, yes. No question about it. He can play right tackle. I think first crack out of the gate will obviously be Yash. Who knows if they draft somebody? But Jenkins, when he is healthy, it's going to be interesting to see where they put him. Will they put him in the mix at right tackle? I think there's a possibility, but can't really do much in that regard until he is back, and it's going to be a while. Don't forget, he suffered that ACL injury, very late in the season up there in Minnesota. So, unfortunately, I think it's going to be quite some time before we are even in a position to answer that question. Jared, question du jour here. Is Aaron Rodgers building rapport with our new wide receivers we're going to have important? And how will he do that if he skips voluntary workouts? I think a lot of that is overblown. I talked to Mark Tauscher about this on the Shameless Packers podcast. Patreon members, you can find that on the Patreon page. You would think he would like to be there and start doing that, especially given the nature of his style of play, what he likes guys to do as far as reading coverages and being able to pick up on what he's seeing in real time, etc. But at the same time, I don't know how much that is like kind of instilled during half speed workouts in shorts. You're really just getting scheme down. You're not doing too much live stuff. And I suspect he'll get done what he needs to get done in training camp. And as I thought Mark put it really well, in the locker room, it's the sense always of, you get done what you need to get done in the offseason. Just show up ready to go at training camp and let's roll. I suspect that will very much be the attitude in the locker room in Green Bay. And I suspect that will very much be what gets done. I think there's zero doubt in my mind that whoever the new wide receivers are in the group will, hit the ground running, so to speak, come training camp. And there will probably be some extra drill work, extra focus put on how to play with Aaron Rodgers. Because, I cite that interview with MVS all the time that he did with Ty Dunn about how difficult it is to play wide receiver in that system with Aaron at quarterback and the things that are required. I mean, it ain't easy, but this circumstance is going to dictate that they get on board and get up to speed quickly, so to speak. And I also think that's part of the personnel's kind of task and challenge here, right? Is finding guys who you think have the acumen to be able to do that in 3 or 4 weeks. Ultimately, do I think Aaron Rodgers skipping workouts is going to cost them offensively, long term this season? No, I don't. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Would Goot trade up to get a safety? Brent, I doubt it, but never say never. As Han said, never tell me the odds. I would suspect not. I would suspect he'd let the board fall to him, and I wouldn't rule out taking a safety in round 1. Maybe round 2 even, but yeah, I can't see him packaging picks unless, of course, and there's always the caveat of if there's somebody he absolutely loves, but only Brian can answer that question, right? But do I suspect he will? No, I do not. Why haven't we signed a free agent wide receiver? Matthew, because they don't play anybody on Sunday. Simple as that. The guys who are out there are going to be out there probably regardless. So like a Sammy Watkins or a Julio Jones. No question that their talks are ongoing in the personnel group, most likely focused on the draft at the moment. But there's really no urgency. The offseason program begins, I believe, next week. So maybe we see something get done prior to that. So we get them in the program from the get-go. But at the moment, the reason they haven't is, they got some time. Aaron, any thoughts on Sammy Watkins buying the Packers for $43 billion? Tyler. Hi, Tyler. How are you, buddy? Yeah, I guess Sammy could go that way if he thought, he wanted to shake things up a little bit. Everyone's freaking out about Elon Musk buying Twitter. Come on. It's just grist for the mill. He's get his name in the headlines and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And even if he does, like, oh no, Twitter will become a toxic hellhole. Will become? Like, come on. We all know Twitter jumped the shark years ago. Jeffrey, let's hope Aaron doesn't scare all the receivers away with his rants. Let me tell you, if you're a wide receiver and you're scared of an Aaron Rodgers rant, you have no business, A, playing with Aaron Rodgers or the Green Bay Packers, or B, playing in the NFL in general. Come on now. Oh, Matthew, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you very much. And thanks for watching on Facebook. Really appreciate it. Please re-sign Walter Stanley. Oh, boy, here we go. Play A.J. Green as the rookies learn to be pros. It's a possibility. I think A.J. Green's done what he's going to do in the NFL, though. I mean, he looked like a shell of his former self last year down there in Arizona. And I know early in the season he caught a couple touchdowns and everyone was freaking out, like, oh, he's back. And then proceeded to do fuck all the rest of the year. I love, A.J. Green was part of one of the greatest plays of the season for the Packers last year. His miscommunication with his quarterback that ended in a Rasul Douglas interception to seal the game down in Arizona. Oh, you mean signing an instant free agent wide receiver doesn't solve everything? You mean he's got to be on the same page as the quarterback? It's interesting. Funny how that works. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Pickens reminds me a lot of Devontae. That's interesting, MJ. I haven't seen that comparison, but I'm going to have to go back and watch and take a look. I like Pickens a lot. He's a dynamic presence, especially the perimeter. I'm down with it. Body type wide receiver talk. I hate it. Oh, Brandy, it's the draft. That's what the draft is all about. I know. I hate it too. I'm right there with you. All right, everybody. I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.